Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So Marvel is in the doghouse again with VFX artists, and I know loads of people always reference the Corridor Crew whenever I've done a video on this. They're like, "Go watch the Corridor Crew. You're just a hater. You just hate, man. Shut up, you child." The Corridor Crew was fantastic, but the moment they started giving blatantly bad VFX a pass that any Joe Public can point out as bad VFX, yeah, they started to become quite suspect, and individuals who were part of the Corridor Crew have left as a result of all of this as well. So it really is important to note that. So yeah, no, Marvel does do bad VFX. It doesn't matter whether a YouTuber who does VFX says otherwise, because most people have eyes, and most people can see that it's bad VFX. So yeah. But anyway, Marvel's VFX nightmare continues, as they're getting called out even more by VFX artists. So this is just snowballed now, and is a direct result of what we can all see. So VFX artists, I guess, feel happier coming forwards because everyone is acknowledging it, which is good. But all that is being acknowledged here is how bad Marvel is to work with when it comes to VFX. So let's dive into this. This comes off the back of some previous reports that were here. So we have this here. Marvel Studios now accused of overworking, underpaying, and being infamously awful to VFX artists. Now again, this is off the back end of a previous report here, which is Marvel was called out by VFX artists for stress caused by unrealistic deadlines. So just as a brief recap, this was some initial comments on Reddit anyway. Marvel has probably the worst methodology of production and VFX management out there. They can never fix the look for the show before more than half the allocated time for the show is over. The artists working on Marvel shows are definitely not paid equivalent to the amount of work they put in. Someone else chimed in specifically and said, "I request not to work on Marvel movies and TV shows. Unfortunately, they're becoming our biggest client, and they expect a smorgasbord of options so they can change their mind 3 more times." So that sort of just gives you a quick recap anyway. But now there was a report over on Vulture, which the whole report is actually seemingly like a whole lot of nothing, actually. And this is the best highlight stuff here. And then we'll go to also the Reddit where they're talking about it all, because some of the comments are fantastic. So we have it here. Underpay and overwork, have no idea what they want, demand endless last-minute revisions, and I think what is surprising here, will blacklist anyone who comes up short. So they just blacklist people. What an arsehole move to make. They'll be like, "Can you just try this? Can you just try that?" They'll want you to change an entire setting, an entire environment, pretty late in a movie. I've had co-workers sit next to me, break down and start crying. I've had people having anxiety attacks on the phone. Not good. Really not good. Pretty terrible stuff. Now, loads of people will just go, "Well, get a different job." But if this is the new normal coming into the job, or say you've been in the job for a while, and then this is the transition of what deems to be normal because Marvel is the biggest client that these companies are working with at this point in time, they sort of set the precedent, then that's really bad news for the industry as a whole, because you're just going to lose artists. And this is what, came out here, right? This is their subreddit. So Marvel is probably the worst methodology of production VFX management out there. They can never fix the look for the show. More than half the allocated time for the show is over. The artists working on Marvel shows are definitely not paid equivalent to the amount of work they put in. The charm for working on a Marvel movie is way overrated now, and I would rather be happy working on a TV series after decades and decades of this. Sorry, but I had to get that off my chest. There's 200 odd comments on this, and they all say the same thing. Yep, I request not to work on them, movies and TV shows. Unfortunately, they're becoming our biggest client. They expect a smorgasbord of options so they can change their mind 3 more times. And then we have this comment here. I can't be 100% sure, but it seems like it started getting messy after the first Avengers film. After that, the few Marvel films I worked on brought on a lot of weird situations. We were working on trailers for post-Avengers 1 films, and we were expecting to get work on the actual film as well, but it never happened. We put in so much time and effort into the work, the amount of money that must have been spent on it went to waste, so to speak, because they decided to have another studio work on the film and they redid most of the work for the actual film using different takes of shots or cutting the shots altogether. At the end, I don't think any shots we worked on actually made it into the film, but it's still in the trailers. We'd done good work for them before, so it was a bit of a surprise, but I suspected regional tax reasons. A lot of new artists that were about to get hired ended up not being needed to come in. And I remember I had to do this Frankenstein of a shot where I rebuilt, relit and recomposed basically every object. Again, this kind of just goes on and on and on, but it just goes to show, you know, they talk about, HBO like to pull shit as well on Game of Thrones, finaling and then unfinaling shots multiple times. There is this mentality where the client just can't be happy with what has been done. It has to be continually worked on until there is basically no more time and they're forced to final something. Weird mentality to have. Really, really weird. And then we talk about good VFX, right? Again, let's talk about good VFX because there'll be loads of, again, and they are children in the comments go, no, the VFX are fine, you're just a hater. Corridor Crew said so. Shut up. Blade Runner 2049, Dune, Matt Reeves, The Batman, Planet of the Apes. All these VFX are incredible. These are amazing, right? Like Denis Villeneuve and Matt Reeves do great VFX. They always love their VFX. And their VFX are something which they care about. And if you've ever looked at any of these movies, The Making of Books by Titan Publishing, you'll know exactly that they give a shit about these works, the VFX stuff. Yeah, massively so. Hugely so. I hope with how much VFX work is out there, places can start to better pick and choose their clients. Not really, because of Marvel being the biggest one. Marvel VFX knowing they can exploit the vendors for just one more version, and likely inexperienced production people trying to please the big important client is always a recipe for disaster. Yeah, not good. But this seems to be like an actual issue. Not unique to Marvel though. It's just they're the hot cheerleader at school and can write their own ticket right now. Oh, you won't do another variation? That's fine. There are 20 other jocks waiting to carry my books for me. It's not even surprising, is it? And this is the thing. So, yeah, being blasted here, giving people anxiety attacks on the phone, people crying. Yeah, quite crazy stuff. Underpaid, overworked, no idea what they want. And this has been parroted all over the place. This isn't new. This is just more evidence of it. Evidence that we can all see with our own eyes, again, before the children come into the comments saying, no, they got good, blah, 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 and Corridor Crew said so. Shut up. No one cares. Shut up. We can all see it. We've all got eyes. It's shit. Anyway, let me know what you think. Cheers, guys. Take care. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out my Teespring store. Supporting the channel via this way does go a long way, but also not only that, you do get to wear some awesome merch. These are one-of-a-kind designs designed for me by my graphic designer. We of course have our Clown World line, which is in mugs, hoodies, t-shirts. We've got Space Jeebus, and then for something a little bit different, we of course have right down at the bottom right here, we have our Pulsar GTIR. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out and supporting my second channel, which is Car Nonsense. This is a vlog and car channel. You can find links to this in the description box along with my Teespring. Please do consider supporting.